What's good? What's good? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So today, I got a question for you. Are you lying to yourself? Are you being honest with your image and the identity that you have? So, I recently joined this amazing group called the Morning Meetup. No pub or not getting paid for any of this, but I just wanted to share it. Here in Atlanta, by this dude named David Shands, and on the Morning Meetup, we self-improve, we learn about business, we learn about how to develop ourselves, how to cultivate leadership, money, finances, all those great things. And recently, we were having this conversation, and he was like, yo, we're doing this hot seat. So when we do the hot seat, and I apologize, guys, for being a little bit late and that you're seeing me in the car, but I needed to put this out for a reason. I'll tell you in a second. So he was like, yo, I'm sorry that we're bouncing, Jesus. So he was like, listen, I do this hot seat every Monday, so you guys can join and come to this hot seat if you want to. And I'm like, you know what, let me pull up. I'm paying this money. It'd be beneficial for me, so let me go. So I pull up, and he's interviewing this other dude, and I'm thinking you got to schedule these hot seats, so I'm not really pressed to it. We ended up having a conversation prior to the beginning. Great conversation, and he's like, yo, you want to get in the hot seat? And I was like, shit, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not hop in here? So I hop into the hot seat, and I get ringed. Like, it's bad. It's very bad. And the reason it's bad is because of me. One of the things that I had to come to the realization of and to be honest with myself of was my inconsistency. And a lot of us will say, like, ah, man, this ain't for me. You may click off of this, but it's the truth. In a year or two, you probably gonna come back and be like, damn, I should have listened to this. Because we're not being honest about our shortfalls. We're not being honest about how we are showing up in a lot of spaces, and it's so easy for us to overlook it because it looks good. And so we're lying to ourselves. We're being counterfeit with our style. We're being counterfeit with our conversations. We're being counterfeit with our connections and communications that we're having. But a lot of people will let us rock. They'll be like, oh man, it look good, it make me feel good, or it's cool to be around it, so I'm gonna stick with it. I'm sorry about this shaking. Man, it never has done this. So, long story less long, it was about me selling and about me asking for business in install architecture. I'm gonna hold this because this is not working for me with this shaking like that. So, in that conversation, I started to realize like that I'm being inconsistent and that I'm an inconsistent addict, right? And it was something to kind of laugh at, but in truth, a lot of us are addicted to mediocrity. We're addicted to inconsistency. We're addicted to these different facets of our life that are not serving us, and we will freely continue to allow it to manifest. When we are willing to acknowledge it, much like if we were alcoholics, they would say first part of your recovery is admitting that you have a problem, then you focus on it. When it comes to our style, a lot of times we think because we're going to get fast fashion or because we're going to get something quickly, maybe it's not fast fashion, maybe it's you have the resources to go buy a lot of items, that you're somehow now well-dressed, that you're somehow a man of substance, and you're promoting that and presenting that by how you show up. And so, sorry guys, this is what happens when you're in Atlanta traffic. We're recording live, I'm being careful though. And so, when you're in this space, you think that, oh man, like, but I got the drip, I got the cool shit, I got what everybody else is clamoring for. But in truth, it's counterfeit because it's not true. In truth, you're not that overly flashy dude. You're not the extra guy. You're a dude who is subtle. You're a dude who likes those conversations where the details matter, right? And so you're selling yourself short because you would rather be fashionable and follow the crowd than be a leader with your look. And so for me, having somebody who showed up in front of me was like, yo, essentially you effing up. I don't want to curse because I don't want to get any issues with YouTube, but you effing up. That's what had me like, yo, yeah, I am. And for him, it was just asking for the business, knowing that I could serve people. It's like, yo, you want to serve all these people, you can communicate, you can do all these different types of things, and you're not doing it. So I am going to ask you for the business. If you guys need any assistance showing up as the best version of yourself, this is not about style. Style is more than just clothes, but style is something that somebody can say, oh, yeah, here's what you should wear. This is about your life. And so many guys don't realize that how they look at themselves is going to be reflected in how they show up in every other situation. It's an act. All things it all comes together, right? It all comes together to say something. It's an act. So I want guys to show up as the best version of themselves and to stop being counterfeit. Because when you show up counterfeit, you know it's counterfeit. That's the worst thing in the world. I don't know about you, but when I was young, I've told the story before, but like I would go get the glass earrings that would be huge. And I'm in high school. I'm driving a 1964 Chevy Nova with a big ass dent in the side, and I'm walking around with these big cubes of ice, quote unquote, in my ear. That's not believable. That's counterfeit. Or when I was having a conversation when I was probably about 34, 35, because my homeboy had access to getting all these knockoff Rolexes and stuff. And he was like, man, you don't want to get one? It's like $75. And I remember, like, I purchased it, and I didn't ever wear it. And he was like, why aren't you wearing it? I said, because this don't make sense. At the time, I was driving a Scion. I dressed well, but, like, we weren't balling out. We didn't have that money. And so I'm like, this is counterfeit. And even if I would have gotten the real thing, even if I would have had a real Rolex, that doesn't make sense. It's not aligned with how I'm showing up. Now, I could have found a watch, could have got a Seiko, could have got any other type of watch that would have still told time one, would have looked very nice and would have been aligned with my style, and somebody would have been like, yo, where you get that watch from? Oh, I got this watch from such and such. And that's what I do now. I got this watch from eBay, right? Looks nice. Oh man, it's nice. I may change the band and totally change the dynamic of how that piece looks, but it's authentic. So we need to make sure that we are showing up as the most authentic versions of ourselves, like, and sticking to our own script. We're meant to be the stars of our own shows, and we all have a story to tell. So I want to make sure that you're showing up as the best version of yourself. And if you're willing to show up as the best version of yourself, then you're always going to have the spotlight on you, but in the right stages and in the right shows. And in those series of events, those are the people that you'll find that actually want to deal with you. I already know I'm not going to be Mr. Beast on YouTube. I'm not going to have 111 million subscribers. I don't know how many Mr. Beast has, right? He's entertaining. I said, but I'm not for everybody. I'm for the people who want to evolve their authenticity. I'm for the people who truly want to tell their story in style and show up as the best version of themselves. I'm for the people, the man who wants to be the most authentic version of himself, and once he sees that, he's going to see everything else in that space. As I've said before, every man wants more money. He wants money, power, and sex, right? The power yields to respect and success. The money is going to yield towards success and yield the opportunities and access to all the cool kids and cool places and all that other stuff that they say that they want. And the sex is not necessarily about sex with multiple women, although that's some people's desire. The sex is about having that intimate connection with somebody that fosters other things. most likely life for that individual. And so that's what every man wants. And if he can show up as that version of himself, he starts to attract those things because he's attractive. And every man wants to be the hero. Every man wants to show up as a person that everybody's paying attention to. So if you dig a little deeper beyond style, beyond clothing, then you get to style, actually, because your style is a representation of your life. And so I want you to show up as the best version of yourself. If you are truly seeking to be the best version of yourself, you need to hire me. We need to work together. Because I promise you, in 7 days, right now, 7 days, I can help you change the script that you're telling in your mind so that you can begin scripting your style through systems for your closet, your image, your presentation, and ultimately the transitions that you need to make through the day. And on top of that, you will create a look that separates you from everybody else, which will mean you're the most stylish you're the most stylish man in the room because you're walking in as your most authentic version of yourself. So remember that style is more than just clothes. It's a mindset, it's a lifestyle, and it's a true representation of who you are. And if you're willing to do that, then you and I should work together. It's going to be a beautiful situation. It's going to be an expedited situation to get your signature look together. And I promise you that you're going to show up better than you ever thought that you could. So try this on, see how it fits you. I wanted to make sure that I was maintaining my word. My coach that I pay for wanted to make sure that I am maintaining consistency and asking for business. And so you'll hear it from here. But if you're following me on social media, trust, you're going to hear me or see me asking for business, ask you to work with me. And if you rock with me and you've been rocking with me, you should support it, because obviously you're getting something from it. And I guarantee you that when we work together, it's going to be even better for you. So sorry for the shakes, but we here, and I'm going to keep on giving you content. I'm not stopping, because I got to make sure that every man shows up as the best version of himself. So try this on, see how it fits you, and I'll see you later. Peace.